the reason why we're looking at Chardonnay second after the Cabernets is because Margaret River Chardonnay has this immense power. It has this incredible acid line that runs through it. So it's got a little bit more acidity. So the acid will actually cut through, you know, the tannins and flavours of the Cabernet that you've already had, but there's a plumpness, there's a different shape to Chardonnay. Margaret River Chardonnay, I think, is typified by its beautiful bright acidity, its powerful fruit flavours and immense complexity. We have 3 different levels. So I guess the Vasse Felix Chardonnay here in the middle is the very fine selection. You know, we almost look at the greatest clone, greatest sites. There are so many different elements, and we have more clones of Chardonnay here in Margaret River than we have Cabernet clones. So there's multiple sites where clone relates to site, aspect, the sea breeze influence and things like that. So our premier Chardonnay is in that beautiful, perfect site, wonderful power of fruit, beautiful body texture, incredible aromatic potential and a gorgeous amount of oak. Then we have on the left here the Filius Chardonnay, the son of our Vasse Felix Chardonnay. So Filius tends to be multiple clones on different sites that are lighter in weight. So I guess there's a finer nuance to this wine that's not as heavy, it's not as powerful, but in the winemaking, we're really, really careful not to override these fruit characters with oak, yet it's full of oak complexities. It's still aged on lees. They're all wild fermented. So effectively, it's cloudy juice going to barrel and just allowed to naturally ferment. And we find that this brings out the very best characters of each individual site. And it's the more elegant sites that go into the Filius Chardonnay. So it's got a lighter weight, very refreshing, very powerful sites that go into the Vasse Felix Chardonnay. And then, of course, the Heytesbury Chardonnay, which is unique, unusual sites that have this particular characteristic. It has a higher level of complexity. It's a little bit more citrus in tone, and it has this incredibly powerful palate. The acidity and the phenolic texture of the wine is quite strong. So with powerful fruit, we can give it a wonderful wild environment of natural yeast, beautiful oak barrels. We use small oak barrels because the fruit can handle it. So I think the wild ferment has a massive contribution to our wine. One, it defines the unique sections of fruit of Chardonnay, and secondly, I guess the characteristics that it imparts, we liken to almost like a mushroom. Sometimes we even talk about lamb fatty characters in Heytesbury Chardonnay. So beautiful, complex, interesting, slow ferments, slow time to take up the fermentation because it's all allowed to happen naturally, and beautiful fresh lees that we keep. We keep the Chardonnay on the lees and we stir those lees through the ageing process of our Chardonnays, which imparts that lovely creaminess. A lot of wine regions are quite jealous of the power of Margaret River Chardonnay perfumes. We have a lot of strong fruit character, which means that we can allow more complexities to show through in the wines as well because the fruit can hold it. Certainly the fruit characteristics, you tend to get certainly the different sites. We find the unique sites of Heytesbury, as I said, citrus. The Vasse Felix Chardonnay here in the middle tends to be that beautiful combination of citrus and what we call like baby pineapple, little hints of peach and melon coming through, but still the very fine citrus lines of Margaret River. Then we have the Filius Chardonnay, which does tend to be more in that sort of peach, melon perfumes, a little bit less citrus, but just very inviting. I guess one of the other key features that, it started the famous Margaret River Chardonnay was the clone of Chardonnay that originally came to Margaret River. This clone of Chardonnay is unique, but the Chardonnay clone itself came from the United States directly to Western Australia after a US scientist was employed to actually look at southwest of Western Australia as a grape growing environment. So this beautiful clone of Chardonnay is stunning in this environment. It retains this gorgeous acidity. It has hen and chicken berries, so larger berries and smaller berries, beautiful concentration of flavour, because a lot of the flavour comes from the skins. So I think it's the complexities are all there. They're beautifully balanced with their oak handling, and they're just wild and wonderful Chardonnays from Vasse Felix.